Hi, welcome back to the from the Pearl Forest. This is Peggy, and today we're going to do a little bit more of marble painting and painting some envelopes. So first of all, gravity is going to put them at that end, so that's fine. So I have a number of started painted papers that need some additional thing. Now a lot of those are green. Let's try adding a darker green. See if I can finish some of these up that I can put them to use. Now they have something else on the other side, so I'd have to glue them together to make them as a signature page or sew them together, but that's an option. Okay, let's see what we can do to add some more interest to finish this page up. I'm also going to do some envelopes that we're going to use for an envelope video later. I don't mind if there's still some blue, but it just needs to have more cover on it like this. And I think I like to blot them and spread the paint a little more, plus they dry faster then. So we can have this one as our cleanup one, and we'll set this off to the side to dry. Put our box back down. Just have to get our marbles on top of our paper. Maybe we'll try a couple colors on this one. So maybe a few dots of green, and maybe a little brown. Come on. If it wants to come out, that is. Not out the squirt end. Oh, that's gonna have to be another day because I can't get it open. Here's some gold. We'll try that instead. Oops, that's a fair amount, so we'll just use that as it is. We'll get that to start rolling around. Hopefully this isn't too loud for you. You could turn your volume down. I probably won't say anything too profound anyway. You can see the marbles spread the paint around. I feel like this needs something more. Maybe a little beige. We have a lot of paint goobers here. A lot of paints that I'm trying to use up. That's an awful lot in one place. It's kind of thick too. A little thicker than I would like. But we'll see how it works. See, when your marbles are hanging up in the paint, that's a little too thick. So we'll try just a spritz of water there. A little peer pressure on the marbles to get them to move. Collect up a bunch of that paint and spread it around. Okay, let's try this one out. So now that one has a little more color. Let's see if we have another different one down here. Here's some with some actually house paint on it. This is a tempera paint. Whoa, that's way too much. Okay, that calls for a little help here. This looks like it's gonna be pretty see-through on here, actually. I'm not sure how much this is gonna even show. Especially on this house paint one, but let's see. If nothing else, it'll show up on the wipe-off one. Corner here. The marbles give it a little bit of line texture movement to your paper. It's a little more interest than it had. Paper was a little smaller, so I just sort of centered this. All right, come on, peel off. So we got a little bit of a transparency orange onto this. I think I might leave that as it is and set it over here to dry. Make myself another drying surface. This needs something else, but maybe it'll come back for another time. Sometimes these papers come back through many, many times. I'm gonna move these over here where I can reach them a little better. Here's a brown one. And it doesn't cover the whole thing, so why don't we, these have some addresses on them. There we go. Why don't we stick this down in here and start putting some color on it. I'll have to remember that one is really transparent, which isn't a bad thing. So we'll put some red and maybe just a dab of gold. And let's see what we get from this. So this is a crossword puzzle. Now this envelope will not be totally covered because, and you'll notice that the marbles don't get clear to the edge. Okay, let's take this out. But see, this will be nice with, you'll get something different on this side. And even this edge here, we could go back and get a little something there. And we could turn this around and get something on the rest of our paper. A little bit down there. So we can use our envelopes for cleanup also. Find a place to put them. And we need a cleanup paper for that. How about this yellow one, which has lots of writing on it, and this can be a written surface later. Kind of. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Okay. So we'll let this one dry. Now let's see, what else do we have down here? We have this color book page that's been started, but it needs something additional. I think maybe the gold just really adds some interest, and this is already fairly dark, so let's try the gold. You can go straight back and straight across and zigzagged and swirled. They can just be swirled and danced around the outside. You get different effects. If you see a little extra paint there, you can kind of play a game where you try to get your little pinballs, also known as marbles, to go through them. So we have that one. Let's clean up on this. Now your cleanup paper may have some wet ink that will get, or paint that will get on your other page. So you might want to consider that, like we just put some red on there. But that's okay. All right, let's find another one. Here's 3 different ones we can do. We have a yellow, a red, and a kind of a bluey purple and a yellow orange. This is a some other kind of code puzzle. Now the back is also that, so either have to paint the other side, or since this one is torn, it will be collage. This one might be kind of fun. Let's see, before we do that, why don't we put some of this out that we took off into the cup. And maybe a little white on this one. White pearl, it says. Must be from the pearl forest. There we go. And let's see what we can do with these. Come on, marbles, get on the paper. This paper's a little curled, so they're wanting to roll under. Maybe if we put it over more. It's okay if you can still see through these, because they'll have clip art or other things, words, labels, focal images, or you'll just tear off part of it. I might even use them for collage, in which case you won't see all this detail. Okay, let's take this one out. Absorb some of its extra. We'll call this, instead of a wipe off page, we'll call it a rub off page. Keep finding spaces for all these though. Okay, here's a pinkish red. Some more of the white might be nice on it. And maybe a little of the gold. And then this is a different red. Maybe a little, whoops, that might be too much. Well, that's what we got. So these don't take very long, and they make sort of marbled with marbles kind of prints. You have to remember they aren't going to get right next to the edge, because the marble bottom that's touching the paper doesn't, the sides don't let it get all the way over there. this one. We could do some envelopes pressed off too. So there we have that one. And now let's try this bluey purple one. Let's see, we have this green. Could put a little green. That might be more than we wanted, so why don't we put part of it over here. And maybe, I don't know, do I want to do this orange? I'm not sure. Maybe something a little lighter though, like a little bit of white. I think if you put little dots, it's better because then they're scattered around your page more. Okay, let's see what this does. Yeah, this is still way too much paint. Let's save that for another one. This one's hanging up there, so it's too much also. Try to get in there a lot and spread it around. Okay, that looks good. Let's try some envelopes for drying them off. We could just put a little bit of this down here. Let's start on our envelopes anyway. And then we have this one to put over here to dry. Now, what else would we like to do? We have this puzzle, and we have a red, white, and blue one. Okay, let's see. How about a little pearl? And maybe a little green, but I actually have that now stuck to the black and white one. I forgot I had the paintbrush down here. Okay. This looks sort of like a forest or nature-y. I need to get through this pearl part here. This is fun to me. Hopefully it's fun to you. Let me know if you've ever tried it. This is just a grocery store. This one happens to be Skippy peanut butter. They have the cans in them on the shelf. You can, if they're empty, you can take one. They're just going to recycle them. They don't care. Or take a whole rack of vegetables or whatever home if you're buying several. If you get one that, most of them will hold an 8.5 by 11 paper nicely. If you can't do that, then you'll have to use different paper. If it's a little big, that's okay. So I'm just using the envelope to clean this one off. Still similar colors. So that one has a little bit more color on it. Probably end up spreading a little other color just because the marbles and the stuff are dirty, but we'll try to keep this red, white, and blue for all the red, white, and blues ones I'm working on. So we'll add a little more blue. This had some stamping on it. And a little red. And we will do some stamping on some in the future too. This just gets a lot more paint on it, so it's not quite so white. But you end up with splotches that are a little bigger. This didn't have anywhere near as much blue as it had red, but that's fine. Okay. Clean this off with these. And we'll just put a little of this on this paper. Okay, we'll set this one aside somewhere. All right, what else would we like to do? Here's a stack. Must have done a lot of coloring pages. Okay, so this one, let's see, we couldn't really do the brown. We have this other gold, which is a bright gold. We could try some of that. Oops. Here it is. So I'll put a little bright gold on here. And I'm thinking like a little pearl. Come on, pearl. Maybe even just a touch of silver. So little smaller dots like that are much better. So let's see what we can get with this. This is a fun one to do with kids. Maybe they can make their own journal signature pages with a bunch of these putting color on paper ideas. Be a fun art project to do as a family. Make a whole bunch of pages and then decide which ones go in which journals, whether they want their own or they want to share. And everybody get a journal. And a reminder of the fun they did as a family. Okay, let's put this one on. And this one. A little more on here. Not that much comes off, but some. So it builds up our base of stuff. Okay, now we have this brown one. Several brown ones. Let's see, we couldn't, I guess we did get the cream to come out. It came out a lot. And it was a little thick. I have a bunch of paints that I'm working on using up. So they might be down to the end of their tubes or bottles or whatever they are. Spritz this one, it's a little dry. And that one has quite a bit there, but we're gonna leave it for now. Maybe I'll just put on just a little bit of this green and orange since I have them on my brush and in there. looking for parts that you want either to run through paint or to take paint over to where you'd like. This corner needed a little bit in this section. Most of the paints we put on are fairly light, so they're not really filling in these areas. Unless I do have a brown. We could put a little bit of brown on here too. Maybe right in this spot. Oh, that's right, the brown, the brown wouldn't open, would it? Have some more brown over here behind me. Handy. Here's a brown. Put a little in these spots that don't have quite as much paint. And do a little bit more. So concentrate on this end here to see if we can spread that around in this end. See, if you keep your paper away from the edge, then you'll be able to get your marbles all the way over there. Hopefully you can hear me over the marbles. That kind of really toned down my other colors. Kind of lost them some on with the dark brown. I think I'm gonna go with this one and add the brown to this. I think that would be a nice addition. I think we'll end with this one, and this one looks nice as well. Let's see, find a spot to put these. Actually, I have a rack over here to the side, but I have to walk over there. Okay, we have another brown one. How about we put some blue with that one? That might be a nice combination. Once again, we'll try to, we'll try to put some in a spot where we especially want some paint. Now this is really thick, so I'm gonna go ahead and blob some out. Hopefully my head isn't in the way too much. Add some water. Mix it up a bit, and then put it around a few places. And now let our marbles go. And even if they mostly stay in those spots with a lot of paint, this spot here that has kind of some lumpy piece, and so does this. Take those off. But these bigger splotches, that's fine. They blend in because we have this other blue around the page as well. This one, and I think we'll just keep putting on these envelopes. They don't quite all fit on here, but that's okay. They don't have to cover the entire envelope. Get some variety this way. And I want the side that's this is going to be sealed for what I'm doing, so that I don't care about the other side. So that's adding some nice additional color. And this only has it in one spot, but that's actually nice as well. Now we have this one. Put it up there to dry. What have we got down here? How about, oh, this is a different one. Why don't we do this one? sure we get under the marbles. So this is yellowy orange and blue. How about some silver? Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. So let's kind of spread that around a bit. I get a little blue from my brush, but that's okay. It's a fair amount of silver, so we're gonna get a lot of coverage from it. Kind of concentrate in an area that you might want to get into. And if they're torn like this, they're not going to be signature pages unless it was a smaller journal. So they're probably going to be collage or pieces that go on a journal or a tag. So my point is this whole assortment will not be on any one page. Okay, we'll use this side now. Apologize, I did not bring my clock out. I meant to bring out to know how long we are here. I'll try to just make my best guess. So that didn't have very much, but it had some silver. This one's quite silver. All right, we have this. Oh, that wasn't the one I was going to grab, but we'll go for it. So this basically is red, yellow, and blue, and they've kind of blended a little bit together. This blue is kind of thick. I might work on that. Let's try this one, although I think this might be one of those transparenty ones. And this red tends to be a little dark. Let's see how this goes. So we're kind of adding similar colors that were already down there, just kind of enhancing it. While they have some big splotches, they also have a lot of little details. With the crossword, it almost looks like a map. This one out. Let's give, oops, let's not paint the back. Let's give this one the full paper. This one. And then this one will just get part of the paper this time. It takes many layers for your rub off, I guess, rather than roll off. But when you get all the different layers, it's really nice. This one is very primary colors, but very, very different. I may scan some of these for digitals. That one we just did was quite interesting. Now this one's almost done. I don't think I'll put a lot of paint on this one. Maybe just some gold to finish it off. Oops, that's a big pile. Well, go for it, marbles. Give it a little iridescence and shine, and a little more glow to go what's already under here. How long you do it just depends on what you want. You could just do it very little. We might try that on one. You want less paint if you're doing that. Okay, I think this one is good. Now this will be adding gold onto our envelopes. Little hint of gold there. These will be made into a project, which you'll see at another video, but it'll have focal images added to it. Put that one off to that side. Let's see what else we got down here. I think I was going for like, well, we could do that one, I guess. We could try this where we have all the marbles on the side, and we could try some brown dots along here and some of this bright gold in there. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. And if I can get this green open. Some green. I thought by putting them all at one end, we could just roll across. We also could have put the paint on the box. For less rolling, I think that might have been a better choice. So we'll try that next. These all have mostly just lines that go this way. Okay. Oops. Maybe this one can get this extra blobby paint here. Might still be extra blobby. Maybe this corner. Yeah. Could get a little bit more on this. We could call it done. We could go selectively out here and pick up paint. Be nice to have some all the way down to the corner here. Maybe there's some brown. So that one could be done. And why don't we just use this one to clean off, rub off our paper, and get us started. Okay, so this has a little bit of a bump over here with this edge still on here. I think that might interfere, so I'm going to tear that off. Some of the spine. Okay. I'm going to put this all the way over here. Get my marbles out there. And let's try this with the paint in the box. Let's just try the blue and see what happens. Blue is a little thick, so let's help thin it a little. So we can get a limited added paint, and we keep the bulk of the paint off the edge in the box. which we can use for another one. So let's use our envelopes here. And maybe we'll use some tickets just to do a little cleanup here to lessen some of the paint. Now that's still got a lot of paint. Take off a little bit more. I had quite a bit of blue. So there's some blue and brown. I think these envelopes might have had extra as well. I think we'll let these dry. Oops. Add this to this one. I even have some coming out here. By doing that, we're going to have a line, which is fine. And do our tickets have a lot? Okay. We could leave that like that, but let's do a little bit more. So we still have our blue paint over here, which will wet a little bit. So I think I'd like a little yellow to brighten this up a little bit, and I'm gonna squirt it along the edge again. Run my marbles through it. See if I can get some out here in the middle. I don't mind the word search poking through some, but it's nice to have it covered up a little more. So I'm kind of picking it up off the edge and then throwing it out here on the paper. Okay, take this one off and put out some more envelopes to start. We could put our ticket down here again, pick up some more color. So these have some blue, yellow, and green, which we really just had blue and yellow, but they obviously have mixed. Okay, let's see, we'll put this one over there. Now we have this gray one that might be fun to do. I don't know why, but it just seems like yellow seems nice on that with maybe some of our bright gold. I'm going to be doing a series of putting color on paper because I need a bunch of painted papers and other dyed papers and other things for some upcoming videos. So I've already done the blackberry dyeing, but we'll be doing other projects as well. Hope you'll find them interesting and some ways that you can make your own colored papers. For instance, at the dollar store or some other Walmart or other small place or a garage sale or a thrift store or just around your house, you might have some marbles. I tried little rocks, but they really don't move well. You do need the round of the marbles. You we can get some inexpensive paint. I know you can get it at the dollar store, but you can also get it cheaper at other places, especially if it's on sale. And you might have some of that around your house already as well. And all you need then is a cardboard box, possibly from the grocery store. Or you can cut one down. You could use an old cookie sheet or pan if you wanted. My power is currently out, but that almost sounded like it was coming back on. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter because I have a generator and it's running. Okay, this one doesn't have very much paint, so we definitely need some more on there. And I'm thinking maybe some kind of fall colors with red and yellow. And I'm going to try just putting them down the other sides. And then maybe a little bit of gold in the middle. So you'll have extra of one color where we put the paint, but they will also spread around. So this will look like a nice fall one. And it might be big enough to do a signature. So let's see. I think you're getting the idea of how this is done, and you probably don't want to stay here as long as I'm going to stay here today. These are a very different color. I think I'm going to go with a new batch of envelopes so we can keep some that are that color. Okay, so now we have some yellow and orange and red starts. And we have this paper. And we'll put that here. Well, this one's kind of different. Let's put these kind of in an arc. And that kind of across. Let's see how this looks. Wherever we drop the paint is where we're going to have the biggest splotches of that color. See the pieces of lines of gold that come out. Okay, I think we'll just do one more for the video. Oops. A little bit left here. We'll just stick it on our ticket. So now we have some brown and gold on our envelopes. And our brown and gold paper. Okay, what do we want to do for our last one? Red or orange? Green, brown. This really bright one looks like fun. Let's put some gold on it. What if we do like a line of paint? And give it a little spritz so it'll spread. Sort of Moroccan or something. This fluorescent-y pink and orange and gold. I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of some of their artworks and fabrics. Okay. And we'll clean off these. And put our tickets on here. So our tickets are starting to look like that. We'll add to them. Our envelopes. And our paper. It's got a dried piece there. It's nice little glowing gold. And then let's just see what's in here just on the marbles. Let's try these and see. Just to clean our marbles off. That's kind of nice. It's just a little abstract gold pattern. It would be nice for a I need to get this away from the edge here, for a neutrally journal. We got it extra dark there because it was by the edge. Okay, so let's see what we made. We have these envelopes at least started. We have these envelopes at least started. May add some more. I have to reach way over here. We have our cooler colors. We have some blue ones. We have a number of envelopes. We have this one. I'm trying to see if I can find all my envelopes. We have this one. Okay, then for paper, we have, pull this back away. We have this one. This one. Sometimes they stick a little. That one, that one, that one. This one is a little extra damp. I'm going to move it. We have this one. This is the one we just made, so it's kind of damp too. This is a different one, kind of orangey blue silver. We have this one. This one. This one. Now this one doesn't have much. It just had that translucent paint that didn't show up very well. So it will probably go back for something more. Some of these might be stenciled on or something else. That one, is that the top? I guess I didn't do that. I didn't do these two yet. Or that one. Actually, this pile in my hand I hadn't done yet. We have this one. We have one I put way over here. One of our cleanup ones. We have this one. one, this one, this one, that one, that one. That's actually my blackberry paper. We have this one, and this one. So we did all of those just right now. Oh, here's one more. So that didn't take very long to do that many. So hope you'll give it a try. This is Peggy from the blackberry forest, from the Pearl Forest. I'm just looking at my blackberry paper. And I hope you enjoyed the marble painting, which we did on some started pages and the envelopes. You can also do them fresh on paper. You can do them on coffee dye, or you can coffee dye them later. So hope you give it a try. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you next time for another video. Bye.